Right, I'm having a second attempt at a video about opinions and being entitled to an opinion. And it's evolved as I've addressed this issue. I've come across other things on the computer, sort of looking at another subject, and something ironic came up that was about a similar sort of thing, so it's sort of related. But what the initial thing about it was that sort of Kate went and spoke put forward my opinion about somebody who I have spoken directly to, so I'm not saying something that that person doesn't know about. It was just like reiterating my opinion, I suppose, which may have been unnecessary in some people's eyes, but that was my feeling at the time, so my position was and is that I'm entitled to my opinion. Person said about keeping your opinions to yourself, which sort of, maybe because I'm not sort of the type of person who is so vocal about things that are like a person who's vile. I'm maybe haven't been so vocal, but now seems like a time to be vocal, because that type of person isn't doing anybody any favours, including themselves. So I think it's important to challenge these other people who are a bit more sort of trying to be impartial, trying to trying to hedge the bets, I suppose, on not being so aligned to one or another. There's lots of different characters in life, and people have different circumstances and different things to deal with, and different relationships with different people. So obviously you have to maintain that other people have other things that they have to take into account. And but there does come a point when, if you get people just pushing on the luck and pushing and pushing, and when I say do it, pushing the luck, they're abusing their position as a human being by violating moral laws. Simple as that. Going against nature. Pissing people off. Whether they're doing it deceitfully or not, it's still what it is. And it's not nice. And, this is something that I take an opposing view to, because it doesn't help anyone, and it's not helping anyone, and eventually, via the ripple effect, it affects each and every one of us, and escalates and escalates, until something is some sort of, is there going to be a massive reaction later on down the line if nobody is vocal? Then went to the library and came across. I looked into that one of the sayings that I don't know if I came across it on a website or something, but it was evil triumphs when good people say nothing. And it seems to be like a lot of people saying nothing or saying very little, opposing things. Speaking to a priest not so long ago, he said himself, if people don't say anything, it is like almost as though they're complicit with what's going on. So, people sometimes need to ask the questions, are they complicit, or would it go against their will if they were complicit with things by staying silent? Then there's, I think, something by George Orwell about people don't like it when people speak the truth, something like that. People find it difficult to handle when people speak the truth, and it's usually a minority. With a majority who are complicit with like laziness, stupidity, immorality, and the reason that's there is because certain people have a methods and things in place to control, and as long as they can do that, it satisfies their the way that they manage things, I suppose. But if anything disturbs like that or goes against that, like nature, then obviously that's upsetting for the sheep. And but as that quote says, evil triumphs when good people say nothing. And I feel it's important to speak out and just represent what you stand for, what I stand for. If and yeah, it's been something I've been mulling over. I got a bit over involved when I did the first video of this because I was talking about that person, and I was sort of like, yeah, should I really have said that to another person? Even though I have said it to his face, so he knows that that's the way I feel, So, but at the same time, it's me challenging a stupid way of being, because that stupid way of being is affecting people, it's harming people, it's influencing people in the wrong direction. I say the wrong direction, it's wrong because people are jeopardizing the possibility of a decent life by going along with all this shit. And it has to be challenged because the it's harming so many, this idiotic way of being, or it just harming the structure of of families here and around, and seemingly in many places. And to go along with it is easy. To be complicit is easy. But it's not, in my eyes, it's not right. It's not decent. It's not dignified. It's not morally just. It's not what nature wants. It's not what God wants. It's not what love wants. So, it's my moral obligation to challenge it. And it's like, this is why I feel the need to put this video together. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've got to say on this one. But it's just frustration and past 2 or 3 days and culmination in this video. So peace and blessings.